Have you ever seen something so strange in public that you could not take your eyes off it? That was exactly how the morning began on the day a man carried a full-size mattress into a job interview. Nobody expected it. Nobody could explain it. Yet, by the time the day ended, nobody in that building would ever forget it. The sun had barely risen when the lobby of Bright Future Corporation was already crowded. Young men and women, dressed in their best suits, polished shoes, and iron shirts, waited nervously. Everyone clutched folders of certificates, CVs, and reference letters. Some whispered last-minute prayers under their breath. Others rehearsed answers in their heads. The job on offer was rare and promising. Dozens of people were fighting for it. Then the door opened, and in walked a man. But this was no ordinary man. He was tall, lean, with sharp eyes that seemed to have lived through storms. He wore a plain shirt that looked a little old, and his trousers were neatly pressed but clearly not new. What caught everyone's attention, however, was not his clothes. It was the massive mattress balanced awkwardly on his shoulder. At first, people laughed. Some chuckled softly, others pointed fingers. "Is he lost?" one candidate whispered. "Maybe he's moving house," another joked. Even the security guard by the door frowned, wondering if this man had misunderstood where he was supposed to be. But the man walked straight to the registration desk, dropped the mattress with a heavy thump, and calmly wrote his name on the list. The entire lobby went silent. Pens stopped moving. Conversations froze. The air itself seemed confused. Who comes to a professional job interview carrying a mattress? The receptionist stared at him, unsure what to do. "Sir," she finally said, Are you here for the interview?" "Yes," the man replied, his voice steady, almost too calm for the situation. "I am here. And so is my mattress." Now, every head in the room turned. I scanned him from head to toe, then returned to the mattress lying beside his chair. It was clean but old, with faint stains, and clearly heavy. Nobody knew what to say. Nobody dared ask him why. But inside, every single person was burning with curiosity. Minutes turned to hours as candidates were called one by one. Some returned looking defeated, others tried to hide nervous smiles. Through it all, the man sat patiently beside his mattress, as if nothing in the world was strange about it. Some interviewees pretended not to notice him. Others whispered and speculated. "Maybe he's mad," one muttered. "Or maybe he wants to sleep during the interview," another sneered. But deep inside, everyone wanted to know the truth. Finally, his name was called. He stood up slowly, lifted the mattress onto his shoulder, and began walking toward the interview room. Gasps filled the air. A few candidates covered their mouths in disbelief. The panel of judges inside could already hear the sound of dragging, before he even entered. When the door opened, 4 interviewers looked up in shock. One nearly dropped his pen. "Excuse me, sir," the chairman of the panel said cautiously, "what is the meaning of this? Why have you brought a mattress into this room?" The man carefully lowered the mattress onto the floor. His movements were deliberate, like he had been rehearsing them. Then he looked each interviewer in the eye and said, "Before I explain, please allow me to do one thing." Without waiting for permission, he walked back to the door, pushed the mattress outside into the corridor, and returned, dusting his hands. He sat down on the chair, finally free of the heavy burden. The panel remained speechless. "Now," he said, leaning forward slightly, "I am ready for this interview." The chairman frowned. "We need you to explain yourself, young man. Why would you come here with such a thing?" The man nodded. "I will explain. That mattress is not just an object. It is a message. You see, many people walk into interviews like this one carrying invisible mattresses. They carry guilt. They carry pain. They carry memories of failure. They carry fear of the future. They drag all these heavy things into new opportunities, and they wonder why they cannot perform. The truth is simple: nobody can truly succeed while weighed down by old burdens." The room went completely quiet. Even the air conditioner's hum seemed to pause. He continued, I wanted you to see my burden. I wanted everyone outside to see it too. Because this is how life looks when we refuse to deal with our past. It looks ridiculous. It looks heavy. And no matter how good we are, we cannot shine if we are still dragging our mattresses everywhere we go. One of the female interviewers leaned forward, her pen frozen above her notepad. So, you brought it here, just to prove this point? Yes, the man replied calmly. But notice what I did before sitting here. I left the mattress outside. That is the lesson. Before you face new opportunities, you must learn to leave your burdens behind. Today, I leave mine outside this room. The panel exchanged looks. Something about his words struck them deeply. One of them cleared his throat and asked, "What exactly are these burdens you speak of? Are you talking about your own life?" The man smiled faintly. Yes. I have lived through many struggles. Poverty that crushed my family. Mistakes that still haunt me. Nights where I slept on that mattress hungry and hopeless. If I carried all of that pain inside me today, I would not even be able to speak with you. But I made a choice to put it down, at least for this moment, and step into my future light. By now, the entire panel was silent, watching him with a mix of respect and curiosity. Nobody laughed anymore. Nobody doubted him. They realized they were witnessing something more than a job interview. They were witnessing a life lesson unfold. But the story was not finished. Outside the room, the other candidates strained their ears. Some leaned against the wall, trying to catch pieces of the conversation. And slowly, whispers spread. The man with the mattress was not a fool. He was a teacher. For nearly an hour, the interview turned into a dialogue. The man answered technical questions about the job, yes. But each time, he linked his answers back to the lesson of the mattress. When asked about teamwork, he said, "A team cannot move forward if some members are dragging mattresses of pride or resentment." When asked about leadership, he explained, "A leader must help people recognize their burdens and give them space to put them down." Every answer carried wisdom wrapped in simplicity. At last, the interview ended. The man stood, bowed slightly, and said, "Thank you for listening. Whether you hire me or not, I am glad I shared this with you." He walked out into the lobby, and the silence that met him was heavier than the mattress had ever been. Every candidate stared at him, no longer mocking, but thoughtful. Some shifted uncomfortably in their seats, as if suddenly aware of the invisible burdens on their own backs. And then, without saying a word, the man lifted his mattress, placed it against the wall near the exit, and walked away. He did not look back. He did not collect it. He left it there, as if to remind everyone, you don't need to carry it anymore. The panel later made their decision. But more importantly, every single person who saw that strange scene carried home a different kind of message. Some cried quietly that night, realizing they had been carrying burdens of regret for years. Others called loved ones to make peace. Some finally forgave themselves for past mistakes. And as for the man with the mattress, nobody ever saw him again. Some said he got the job. Some said he never returned. But one thing was certain, he had planted a lesson that no one would ever forget. Because sometimes, the heaviest things we carry are not visible. Sometimes, they are as invisible as fear, guilt, or shame. And unless we learn to put them down, we cannot truly step into the future waiting for us. So the next time you walk into an interview, or into a new relationship, or into a fresh chance in life, remember the mattress. And ask yourself, am I carrying something I should have left behind? Thank you for listening to this story. Please tell me what you learned from the story on the comment section. And don't forget to share this to your loved ones. One more important thing. Please, if you do not subscribe to this channel, you might not see me again, so please do well to subscribe if you have not done that, and turn on the notifications bell so you will be notified when next I upload new interesting story like this. Please subscribe, and bye for now. See you in our next video.